Welcome everybody to the Single and Stilettos Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Tinzley Bradford, and she's the author of the Settle Free Dating Method for Women, and I'm so excited to have her here today because we're talking about a topic that I've never interviewed anybody about, but I know it's an issue because I hear it all the time with my clients. And the topic is, we're moving fast towards a relationship. Is that a bad thing? And Tinzley and I are going to talk about this today. But before we jump into it, Tinzley, will you tell our audience a little bit about you and what made you write this book?
Yes. Hi, Suzanne. Thanks for having me on the show. I am the author of the Settle Free Dating Method for Women. I'm also a speaker and a relationship settle free dating coach. I help women build that confidence back up so they can make wiser dating choices and not settle for less. I wrote this book because I wanted to empower women to make wiser choices and not settle for guys that are treating them like crap. Those who don't value who they are and making them miserable and lowering their self-esteem. So I am here to offer that insight and advice to help them make wiser choices, and I'm just excited about it.
Awesome. And I love that you talk about empowering women, because that's what I'm all about, is empowering women, which is exactly why I do the show. So Tinzley, tell us about, when a relationship is moving too fast, is that a bad thing?
It can be a bad thing sometimes. It's not always a bad thing, but if you do a lot of researching about relationships and dating, as I do a lot of research. A lot of times, if you rush into something and you've not gotten to know that person really, really well, sometimes it does go south, because now you are basing it on just emotions of that bubbly, cute little feeling and warm and fuzzy, lovey feeling you feel. So like having a crush on someone, but not knowing exactly what it is you're getting. And so you might find yourself going out a lot. You might find yourself calling and talking on the phone for hours. You'll go over his house. He'll come over yours. You'll get intimate faster than you probably would want to. Just be real about it. Sometimes we say, well, next time I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to be intimate quick. And you find yourself doing that fast, which if you're an adult, that's your decision. But sometimes if you do that fast, it leaves you feeling empty. It leaves you feeling like you've rushed into something with someone that you didn't even really know. And it can feel the same for him, because he may not be meaning to judge you, but he may be looking at you like, wow, I got it quick. And who else is she giving it quick to? Then you may be looking at yourself like, wow, I gave in quick. Is he going to judge me? I don't even know his last name. Am I getting on his nerves? I called him last night. I'm calling him again. Now I'm texting him. I think we might be rushing into this thing. And then if you both are saying stuff like, I love you and all of this all quick, that could be premature feelings of just, once again, crush. You have a crush on that person type of feeling. And you haven't really established true feelings or emotions. You're just saying it because you're both single. You're both liking each other for the moment. The sun and the moon is right. And you want it to feel that. But you should never rush into a relationship, because it could cause you to feel like it's not really a real relationship after a while, when you start seeing things about that person that you don't like anymore. They see the things about you that they don't like, and it starts to put a damper on the energy.
Yeah, and I have to add, because I see this all too often, because I work with both men and women as clients, and I hear it from both sides. Is the relationship, when they first start dating, they'll have this connection, they have this chemistry and attraction, and so one of them will move the relationship along a lot faster than the other person is used to, but then the other person is like, well, wow, I really like this person, there's a lot of chemistry, attraction, it feels so right, so they kind of just go along with it. But what I always see happen is one person gets scared and then backs off, and it's usually the person that was moving it along too fast in the first place, which is usually odd, but that's how it usually happens. And then they pull back, and then they get scared, and they're like, yeah, this is moving way too fast for me. And so, ladies, you have to remember something, is that you have to control the pace of a relationship. If he's moving it along too fast, it's up to you to control the pace. So, Tinzley, can you give us 3 ways a woman could slow it down in a good way so that it doesn't move too fast?
Absolutely. I think that word pace is the perfect word. You have to make sure that before you take that step, you actually stop for a minute and think about what it is you're getting ready to do in that relationship right that very moment. Even if it's something as tempting as calling him to say, I love you, I miss you today, or walking out there and grabbing him with this big old hug and kiss as if you feel like you guys are married already or something like that. I can suggest you just take your time and go with the flow of the relationship without trying to orchestrate the every move of the relationship. And what that means is if you are going out, you don't have to keep asking, are you liking me? How's it going? Do you think it's working? You think I'm a good mate for you? How do you think, what do you think about me? You call them on the phone. Am I pretty? You like me so far? That can kind of come across as someone who's not confident in themselves and they're a worry and they're kind of rushing a relationship. He's looking at that like, wow, I'm trying to get to know you and you're so busy worried. So don't ask too many questions. Don't think too deep into the relationship. Just be the beautiful, lovely, bubbly, positive, confident woman you are. And more than likely, if he's a good guy and the right man, he's going to see those qualities in you without you having to rush anything. So that's one. Don't rush. Don't be too pushy and ask too many questions. Number two, I'm going to say, make sure that you don't do too much of the pursuing. And what I mean by that is you don't want to play a game of, if he don't call me, then I'm not going to call him. You can definitely show your interest. However, if you find yourself doing all the calling, all the texting, all the following up, that's not right. There's something missing there. And it could be him going, she's calling too much. I'm irritated. He could have met someone else. So you don't want to run him off by feeling like you're just stalking him every 5 minutes, texting and calling. Calm down and let it go. Sometimes you may not talk at all. That's just how it is when you're dating and it's in the early stages of the relationship. You got to be understanding. And finally, I can suggest that you just take your time on the pacing. Like you said, you pace yourself, meaning when you go out to a movie, you don't have to plan this big production of an evening. Go out to a movie, have dinner, and go home. Nice little friendly kiss and go home. You don't have to plan for, I'm coming over, I'm getting some of that stuff and rub on your body and all this ridiculous stuff that you do in the early, you shouldn't be doing right away, because then you're going to start feeling that way you feel sometimes when you're rushing into possibly intimacy. So just go on that date and kiss, say goodnight and go home. Leave him something to wonder about so he can look forward to the next meeting and dating you.
Those are such great tips, Tinzley. And I will say this, because I want to add this to the ladies, because a lot of times, like how you talked about, the women will text or call him too much. And what I want women to understand, if you're doing all the texting and calling, how do you know that he actually likes you? A man will pursue you if he's interested, and you have to remember that. So, Tinzley, these have been great. So tell our audience how they can find you.
Yes. Visit tinzleybradford.com and you can get my book off of my website as well. You may go to amazon.com and order my book, The Settle-Free Dating Method for Women, a no-nonsense advice guide to remind you that you are more. And I'm on Twitter. I'm very social. You can find me on Instagram at TinzleyB. So just reach out to me anywhere. I can also mail you a signed copy. If you reach out to me personally, we can work that out behind the scenes.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us on the Single and Stilettos Show. Our show is available in both video format and podcast format. If you would like to view the videos, you can go to singleandstilettos.com. And if you would like to get our podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you would like to get our free ebook on 3 secrets guaranteed to attract any man, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleandstilettos.com.